Well, I'm going to talk about formal educational opportunities that GCI currently offers and will be integrated into this plan that Jeff has laid out. But there are some opportunities that are available right now, and we really want everybody to be aware of what these opportunities and resources are that you can begin to make use of right away, today, tomorrow. And soon. What we really want to do is, well, we believe that everyone is faith seeks understanding as much as it can from whatever you start to wherever you're going. And we'd like everybody to know where these resources are to take the next step, faith seeking understanding. And so there's lots of different levels that can take place. And so two of the places we want to talk about, or three places. First of all is our website. And so if you don't know that, the GCI.org website, there we are, there has free resources. How many of you have visited the website? All right, that's great. There is so much great stuff. I mean, I haven't even touched 1/3 of it yet, and I've been looking through this for several years now. But there are all kinds of resources there of all sorts. And so especially a lot of the ones that are kind of more theological, if you go to where it says publications, you see there's on that little bar there where it's circled, maybe you can't quite see it where you are, but there is one called publications. And under there you have Christian Odyssey and questions about the Bible, the gospel, and all that. So there are just tons of resources. And of course the You're Included series, which I like, since that's where I entered in as well, and then had a hand in bringing others into that as well. So there are free resources just to go and look up. If you have a question and you look in the search bar, that works pretty well. You can find lots of good stuff. So the next thing are links to formal education. Now, what's the point of formal education? It's a series of courses because certain topics, certain issues require a disciplined and sustained looking into it. Like a one-shot talk is not going to do it, or even a weekend. There are just certain topics, certain concerns, certain issues that mean you need discipline, you need a mentor, and you need a sustained discussion to sink into it. And that's the only excuse for courses, a series of courses that add up to something, and why you would commit yourself to do that. And so there are links to formal education here. So if you go to the website, the GCI website, then you see education. That's that little circle over there. You can see it on the bar. And when you click on that, two things come up for these series of courses to sign up. The first one is at the undergraduate level. Now this is the ACCM, the Ambassador College for Christian Ministry. It's run out of Australia. John McLean, some of you probably know him. He's still running that, and this is if you want undergraduate level. You don't get an undergraduate degree, but the education and the work required and what's involved is pretty much at the undergraduate level. And there are a series of courses that are offered. So that's the next slide there. There are actually 10 courses, and there's going to be at least one more added. Now, these are non-credit, but as you go through them, then one at a time at your own pace. It actually is, as I understand it, more like the correspondence courses that you used to have. It's self-paced, so you take a lesson and you work on it, and then you send it in when you're ready, and then it gets graded, and you can talk with the teacher, and then take the next step. So it's self-paced and all that, and the work level is undergraduate. And when you complete this, you get a diploma in Christian ministry that GCI recognizes. They say, yes, that is good. Now you have a kind of a big package, and it's well-rounded. You haven't just emphasized one thing over here. And you can see a lot of the topics: foundations of faith, Jesus and the gospel, spiritual formation, Christian leadership, preaching, pastoral care, applied Christian ministry. So there are 10 courses there, and another one or two to be added. So that's the ACCM. And that's for anybody. Everybody, there's not an age limit. You don't have to have a certain position. You just sign up and go. Now, there is a fee for it, just $150 per course for credit. And you can even audit these for $100. That wouldn't add up, I guess. It's just not graded, so then you're just taking it on your own and all. So that's one level then of formal education, this 10-course ACCM. So we'd like everybody to know about that. So if you're pastors and you find somebody in your congregation, you yourself, it's like, are you looking for people saying, you know what, they could really benefit from this resource? That's what we want to do, to direct everybody to their appropriate level and interest and possibly their responsibilities in the congregation. So do you know what the resource is for everyone that they could benefit from? Now the next level after that is graduate level courses, and so this is now Grace Communion Seminary, which somehow I ended up being president. I don't know how did that happen? Anyway, Russell Duke retired, that's how that happened. They had to find somebody, so I was around. So my colleagues here of Grace Communion Seminary, Michael Morrison and Susan Williams. Susan, yes, there she is right in the front row. They know a lot more about this than I do, so ask them questions afterwards. I'm not taking any Q&A. And so they know the details, but I'll tell you a few things about it. If you go under the, now you go to, well, I think you can get there through the GCI, or you can go to gcs.org, and you have Grace Communion Seminary there, and that tells you, so this is graduate level, all right? But you don't have to enter into a degree program to start off. Here's our mission. We're committed to equip the saints for pastoral ministry through quality graduate level distance education. So this is all online as well. The ACCM and the GCS are online. Distance level education programs in biblical, theological, ministerial, and pastoral studies informed by, Trinitarian incarnational faith. So that's what we're attempting to do, and it is accredited. So other institutions outside of GCI can recognize it because we're evaluated in terms of the quality of what we offer, and so we have been approved from the outsiders as to the quality of what we give through a nationally recognized organization that accredits graduate level distant education. And here are the series of courses. I mean, this is another amazing thing. You know, we're too small a seminary, too small a denomination to have a seminary. You know that, right? We shouldn't be able to do this. We shouldn't have churches also in 40 countries around the world. That's just stupid. How did that happen? It's backwards. Well, that's God for you. Here we are. We have an amazing seminary with amazing teachers at the graduate level who are all qualified to do this, and we have a full complement for two degree programs. This is an amazing thing to have this many courses all accredited, put together, and I regard it as a miracle of God. It's grown out, of course, but GCI, all right, and the WCG, right, has a commitment to education, hasn't it? For its whole existence. It has. And you know, that's one thing that God has preserved and maintained. And I think that's on purpose. It's amazing that we can offer this. It's also amazing in the cost of it. It's amazingly low compared to others. But there's a full complement of courses. Now, how you start in this is you don't have to sign up for a degree program. Their master's level, continuing ed, that's where everybody starts. And then you can take 4 courses, and if you pass those, then you get a certificate of theological studies without ever signing up for a degree. You don't have to sign up for a degree to start taking classes. Just take one and see what it's like. It takes about 10 to 14 hours a week commitment. That's what we estimate. So if you want to put aside 10 to 14 hours, then you can take a class, see what it's like, see if you want to take more. So this is a step-by-step, put your toe in the water, see if you like it, come along. Then, after that, if you take 4 courses, you can take any course at the continuing education. And then if you take a series of 4 courses that we specify, you can get a certificate of theological studies. And then if you add 3 more to that, then you can have the Advanced Diploma of Christian Ministry. Now, these are things recognized within GCI, that you're a person who's being trained and you're not kind of off, kind of just focusing on 1 or 2 things, but you have a range. And then after that, the 7, if you add 7 more and sign up for the program, you can get 1 of 2 master's degrees, Master of Pastoral Studies and Master of Theological Studies. 1 of the 2 recognized in GCI and outside. 42 units, 14 courses. And we hope to add additional courses and possibly offer the MDiv, which is a 3-year program. This is essentially a 2-year program, each of these, and to have a 3-year MDiv program if we have enough students. So I want you to be aware of these for yourself, but also are you looking around and saying, who could benefit? Who's ready for this? For whose discipleship would this be, the ACCM, the GCS, be the next step for them, at least to stick their toe in the water and to see how it goes? Well, thanks so much, and I hope that you can participate in one way or another.